I just fill in when people aren't here. Call to order, please, and we've done that. Roll call, please.
Richard Badger,
Present.
Tom Medley. Alderperson Keen.
Here.
Alderperson Weigel. Here. Okay. Wayne Clark,
Yes.
called everybody. Mike Suter, Jay Motter. Excuse,
We have a quorum.
we have a quorum.
Thank you. We'll move to C, which is approval of the minutes of the September 30th, 2025 meeting.
Move approval.
Second. We have a motion and a second. Any corrections or additions? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion passes. Thank you. Next is matters for discussion, action. Number 2, public hearing seeking public comment and consideration of proposed changes to CD's annual plan for the U.S. Department of Housing and Development, Section 8, Housing Choice Voucher Program.
Chair, I'm proud to say that my esteemed colleague Steve shares here tonight to outline the housing plan.
All right. Thank you, Steve.
Hi, everybody. I'm Steve Sheriff with the City Planning, here to present the annual plan for the housing authority. And as the CDA, you are the housing authority for the city of West Allis. And our housing office and department is staffed by 3.5 people, and then 1 contracted person with family self-sufficient Lutheran Social Services to administer our family self-sufficiency program. They administer also Section 8 rent assistance, also for the elderly, Beloit Road housing, for veterans, the VASH program, and basically just providing those services for the public in need, low to moderate income individuals. There's also a new home buyer program, as well as a housing rehabilitation program, which is administered in-house. And every 5 years, last year we had approved a 5-year plan. Those goals are, and the mission of that is really to provide safe, decent housing for low to moderate income households, and then expand housing choice within the city. Different types of housing to provide affordable housing stock and promoting neighborhood stability. In terms of numbers, the annual plan goals really are, I guess, within the Beloit Road, for instance, we have a total of 94 active vouchers out of 100 units right now. And then there's 272 active Section 8 vouchers and 136 of 174 total Veteran Affairs supportive housing vouchers. So 136 of those are active. And it ebb and flows throughout the year. The numbers change, but as does the budget, we're anticipating a $4.3 million budget, which is roughly consistent from year to year. Of that, right now we've got 502 active vouchers of a total of 638. So we could have, if we had enough budget authority, we could actually administer more vouchers. But with budget authority, that 500, 520, 540 is usually the area of the limit. And then there are, of that, monthly housing assistance payments factor out to about $330,000 a month. So that's basically what's going out to support those 502 people on our program, about $330,000. And that every successful voucher that we administer returns us roughly about $70 per month for an active voucher. And that helps build up an admin reserve fee for staffing our department, as well as administering the program. And then we currently lease at 110% of fair market value. It has been as high as 120% after COVID, but right now we're at about 110%. And then what that looks like in terms of, for a person making, let's say, up to $38,000 a year, if that's one person single, their income, it would afford them a payment standard. You can see the fair market, the FMR is the fair market rent. for the areas established by HUD. At that 110% level, that's the second column where it says payment standard or pay standard. That's what the additional 10% adds to that fair market rent value. So, and the way that's calculated is that HUD does not want, HUD considers something affordably paying 30% or less of your annual income. If you're paying more than that, it's not affordable. So some of the goals that are in the annual plan and look ahead, really sort of consistent with prior years, but there are some unique things that I'll explain here. But one of those unique things is an opportunity to work with Opportunity Milwaukee, which is a Metro Milwaukee Fair Housing Council. They've received a grant from Milwaukee County, and the idea is to sort of increase our supply of landlords through promotions and education. Having probably 3 workshops that we would be part of, and hosting that type of promotional and educational event to sort of reduce the stigma of Section 8 housing. Sometimes landlords are like, well, I don't want to participate in that. People are going to damage my home, or they have some excuse. So the idea is to really sort of broach those topics, have that discussion with landlords, and dispel any myths, that type of thing. The other thing is that continued alignment with our health department, health and all policies approach to housing, as well as community health, but through community conversations on things like homelessness, affordable housing, home buyer programs, we really hope to sort of again spread more word throughout the community about the programs that the housing office does offer. It's not just Section 8 rents. We do offer that new home buyers loan program, as well as housing rehab, and we really want to, in the year ahead, really promote that a lot more and get more buy-in to that. So I don't think a lot of people know about it, and so we really want to pump that up. Family self-sufficiency program, we have active 30 participants right now. We're going to be submitting a requisition to our city administrator to hire a full-time person in-house to do that work. We currently contract through Lutheran Social Services at about, well, the last CDA meeting, we increased the cost and went up to about $138,000, $140,000, which is going to be their new annual fee to administer that program. And we think I don't think we have to spend that much to run that program. I think, with benefits, salary and with benefits, I think we can do it for less than that. And we're going to try doing so. I mean, nothing against Lutheran Social Services. They do great work. They're a gold standard, but I think there comes a tipping point where we have to start looking internally how we can administer that within our.
Is there some other social service agency that would offer that same, because you're right, 130 a year is a lot. For
Yeah.
a program that's
We
supporting.
could certainly look into that, put out like an RFP
Yeah.
and that type of thing, but I think for the time being, that we're looking at
Okay,
probably just moving
well, I'm
with
just
someone in-house.
not in favor of adding more people to the payroll that are gonna be here forever. No. Well, not forever.
Not forever, no. So, and then also seeking additional grant funding to help administer that program. Conducting informational sessions such as workforce development, home ownership programs, credit counseling within that. Again, just sort of help mentor and coach people, bring them to a better sense of stability with goals, looking ahead. Then new housing opportunities, the 2 images on the right, I mean, the Habitat for Humanity, we talked about that one last month, and that's, I think, something that, CDA, I think, definitely directed us to get behind, and I know Patrick and team here are going to be working on a development agreement, bringing that back before you. The idea is to bring affordable housing to help sort of spur that generational wealth that comes with a home. And then additionally, taking a look at, in this case, the Longfellow School property over on 60th and Grant Street for a possible tax credit deal, working with a developer and the school district to bring it to market. That's also a possible project-based voucher, that PVV, project-based voucher. Those are similar vouchers to like Beloit Road. where we could have maybe a limited number of people, maybe, 8 to 10 people within, if they have 50 units, just sort of sprinkled into that development and integrated as such.
I thought that, I mean, that project stalled, that was all approved, right?
We went through the zoning procedure and got it approved through the zoning, and then I think the tax credits, they didn't get the tax credits, so the conceptual plans that we had never really got any more detailed than that. That'll be coming back though, I
Well,
think
that's third.
later this year.
Same
Baker
development?
Tilly's inquired about the project-based vouchers. They have Baker Tilly working on their application.
So, in terms of fair housing is another, thing that we work on within the housing department, and I guess as mentioned with the Longfellow and tax credits, just working with development community to offer, some units as part of their portfolio as affordable. And then providing credit building courses such as community advocates, the WIBIC Women's Business Initiative, and then also administering a fair housing artwork contest every year. So those are the big ideas, I guess, for the year ahead. We haven't received, this has gone before our resident advisory board back in July. They didn't propose any recommended changes. This is also published in August, and they're during that 45-day comment period. We haven't received any comments or objections to date. So we are recommending CDA approve the resolution, which is in the next item. And then we would, if approved, then we would submit that. We'd have the mayor sign and submit it to the HUD.
Thank you, Steve. Patrick, is there a script for the public hearing?
No, there isn't. There's no script for that. It's just, the only thing you have to do is read what's on the item too. It's more of a public notice than it is a public hearing. There is no script.
Anybody in the audience? Anyone in the audience?
Steve, I don't have any objections to submitting what it is. Again, as we've told Patrick, we do want to align with the new developments coming in, what we can do for more affordable housing. We know that some of the developers looking at the old oil gear over there, we're looking to have motor castings. We're looking to have market rate, but then also have affordable and not just like in a complex, sprinkled throughout. And that's kind of going to be something that I'm going to personally continue to ask when new development comes in of what we're doing about this. I like the idea of what the folks had when they wanted to look at Longfellow as well. They had some neat ideas to bring a really collective, cool looking apartments, being affordable. So I do appreciate that. And I do agree that I'm nervous about always having someone, maybe a permanent staff member, but $130K a year to me is absurd for what we're paying and what that position does. And I do believe that we can find someone to potentially fill that role at a lot less cost and still have it be just as sufficient. So thanks for looking into that.
Thank you.
That's all I have.
Since we don't have any public here, I assume the public has nothing to say on this item.
We've not received any comments.
All right, therefore, we'll just move on to number 3. Resolution to approve amendments to the CDA's annual plan for the U.S. Department of Housing and Development, HUD Section 8 Housing Choice Voucher Program.
Motion to approve.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Any discussion? Those in favor?
Aye.
As a resolution, is that a vote? Individual vote?
It is a roll call. Wayne Clark,
Yes.
Richard Badger,
Aye.
Tom Medley, Alderman Weigel,
Aye.
Alderperson Keen.
That passes. Thank you. We will move on to number 4, discussion regarding the status of the purchase and sale and development agreement for the former St. Aloysius property located at 1405 South 92nd Street.
It's out of respect of time, Mr. Chairman. Just quickly, the developer has requested a draw of the $990,000 or so for the demolition. That is a loan which will get repaid back when we close in November on the construction financing. So staff is in the middle of processing that payment. We have requested, let's see here. Where is it? Well, that slide didn't get in. Unless it's someplace else. You might see here on the lot, it's kind of shaded here, but the bottom material that is this beige. This area, can you see this?
That's on 92nd Street.
92nd, and this area here,
Right.
this beige, they've changed it from a fiber cement to a 4-inch brick stone at our request. We thought a little bit better material would be better on that area. And then some of the area back here will have a Nichiha wood paneling in those recessed areas as an accent. So that provides a little bit better massing on the ground floor, and that was between planning and economic development, kind of pushing the developer to do a little bit better quality on that lower level. So that was one of the changes. And then I would like to give an update on the status of negotiations in closed session.
And we'll move on to number 5 and come back to 4 in closed session discussion regarding the property located at 9220 West Greenfield Avenue.
What was there before Red Owl?
Me?
What was there before Red Owl? 92nd and Greenfield. It was a Red Owl store. It was a CVS most recently. What was it before Red Owl? Do you remember?
No, I don't.
Patrick thinks there was some automotive.
So, Mr. Chairman, we were asked to kind of take a look at what's happening on the CVS.
Oh, yeah, law school, I remember that.
So it was, the corner of 92nd and Greenfield is the former CVS drugstore. They just in March closed, and they still have a lease for 4 more years on the property. But there's a lot of social media and inquiries, like, what's happening? Why is it vacant? And there is a broker on the property. We've had a conversation both internally with Steve and I have met with them, and I have followed up by figuring out what's the status. The site has around 100 parking stalls. Seems like it has a history of being an automotive use. Then there was a grocery store, the Roscoe, and then the CVS. It is a very visible corner, so attracting the right use. There is an assessed value of 2.1 million. I understand there might be a for sale listing price of 2.6 million. That's what they're valuing the property with the current lease. But it'll be hard for any type of smaller user to move in and have to deal with the payout of a CVS lease and negotiations and things like that. I have this in closed session. I can outline some of the prospective type of uses that have been inquiring per what I received from the broker.
All right, thank you. Then we'll move on to 6, discussion regarding the status of the former motor casting property located within the South 65th Street and West Washington Street corridor.
So, Mr. Chairman, you might recall, we did get an accepted offer on the property for 800,000. So we are in the middle of we completed the phase 1, and we are now doing the phase 2 environmental site assessment. That involves, you can see pictures of the current site, the rubble and the weeds coming up on the 6-acre
I didn't know there
parcel.
was a lake there.
Yeah, that's water being retained on the site. There are 3. The idea here is that there would be 16 borings and 3 groundwater monitoring wells. And I'll show you I want to show you like where the wells are going in. Can you see all the little dots?
Mhm.
I'm trying this new laser pointer concept thing out here. But it also includes the small parcel, this parking lot that's in the neighborhood, this parking lot as well. And then they'd be testing through these parcels here. And I understand they started that this week. And then here's the schedule, the soil samplings, temporary well installation. They have to come back and test those like a month later after they put them in, as the materials sink, we'll go test the water, make sure, what's migrating, what's going through there. There might be some seasonality to it, but we're going to be doing several rounds of groundwater testing, and then we draft a letter. This is all coming from Rambo that we've contracted. We also most likely like to get in the site to do, second, no, it's not there, geotechnical, work as well. And I'll come back with the scope to the CDA for that. What that means is, it's one thing to test for environmental. It's also, you need to test the soil qualities. Because you could be sitting on garbage of a dirt that you can build on. Now you have to put extra foundations in for development. We will do some testing around the site to make certain that you could build on that site, or what the qualities are, to see what that might impact any future development. That's the status of the motor casting site, Mr. Chairman. Any questions?
Thank you. We'll move on to number 7, discussion regarding requests for proposed borings within CDO owned parking lot located at 405 West Washington Street.
Mr. Chairman, as you can see here, this is the West Alice Chalmers Way, the extension of West Washington. As they go through, there is a parcel of land that the CDA owns. That's this area here that will be 88 stalls will be taken up for the new roadway going through. This parking lot is shared. It's a public parking lot. 6600 West Washington, which is north of here, has rights to park in here. Just being public parking. And then it is leased, not necessarily leased, but under a development agreement to Summit Place, in which they get to use this parking lot, but they maintain it, plow it, clean it up, etc. The state, in order to put this road through, they want to do testing in our site. I'm bringing this to your attention because I don't know the whole history there, and could there be some exposure potentially if the dirt really stinks or something? But they're really doing it for geotechnical. There is another nuance to this that we'll discuss in closed session. We have no problem with the testing. I just wanted you to know that if something comes up, why I'm bringing it to you, that you knew that the testing was occurring.
Do they have a date when they're talking about the construction yet on that?
2029 is the last time.
Keep slipping further back.
Yeah, it was supposed to be this year.
Yeah.
We'll come back to this in closed session. Next is discussion number 8, discussion regarding the 81st and West National Avenue corridor.
All closed session, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We'll move on to number 9, consideration relative to report on redevelopment initiatives.
I don't have any under that.
You don't have anything? How about my colleagues? Anything?
Mhm.
I'm just looking.
Oh, there is a slide. I don't know if it was up here before, just the Rev, which is on 86th and National. And I think you might have received an invite.
Yeah.
Maybe in your emails. There's a ribbon cutting at 3:00 on Friday. And Alderperson Keene will be one of the speakers
Keynote speaker.
at the event, representing that,
Is that what you said?
representing both the CDA and the 3rd District.
Very nice.
On item I on here, it's Highway 100 corridor, the old Hub Chrysler Plymouth site. What's going on with that? With all those apartments that we approved.
Footings, started some footings on the site.
Okay.
I was gonna go past today and didn't quite get there, but
Yeah.
in previous weeks looking at it, there's definitely footings and some work happening on the site.
Okay.
I think they're gonna start on a couple of the buildings footprints first and yeah, so I saw 2 or 3 out there.
And then also, I guess I don't see it out here separately. Union Green. That job site's been pretty quiet lately when I've gone by there.
Oh, they've been working on the apartment building.
Yeah, but, okay.
Yeah.
Where's Union Green?
Union Green is 64th and Greenfield.
The old strip joint.
Yeah. Thank you.
That's the name of it. It's coming along. There was some code issue discussions last week, but still going. I think they're still going a little bit.
Anything else? We'll move on to where agenda items 4 through 8, the committee may convene in closed session pursuant to the provisions of section 19851E of the state statutes for the purpose of deliberating the investing of public funds whenever competitive or bargaining reasons require a closed session. The committee may reconvene in open session and after completion of the closed session, consider the balance of the agenda.
I'll move we go into closed session.
We have a motion to go into closed session. Is there a second?
Second.
We have a motion, a second.
Wayne Clark,
Yes.
Richard Badger,
Yes.
Tom Medley.
Yeah.
Alderperson Weigel.
Yes.
Alderperson
Closed
Key.
session. Thank you. Thanks for handling the door. And I think we start with number 4. Is that-
One second, we have to pause the recording.